2023 wasn't a good year for the Carolina Panthers, but I'm trying to make 2024 a better one for myself. Get started on your resolutions with Factor so you're ready for the new year. Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery takes the stress out of meal planning and sets you up for success in the new year. Skip the grocery stores, prep work, and cooking fatigue. Instead, get chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals delivered right to your door. With over 35 meals to choose from per week, including keto options, calorie smart, vegan plus veggie, and more, plus over 55 weekly add-ons, you'll have a ton of nutritious and flavorful options to kickstart your resolutions. Skip that overpriced takeout trap. Factor is cheaper and way more delicious than takeout. Get chef-crafted, restaurant-quality meals delivered right to your door, and they're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, which means more time for you. Head to factormeals.com/C350 and use the promo code C350 to get 50% off. That's code C350 at factormeals.com/C350 to get 50% off.
Looking for a fun way to win up to 25 times your money this basketball season? Test your skills on Prize Picks, the most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and place your entry. You could turn $10 into $250. Right now, Prize Picks will match your first deposit up to $100. Just visit prizepicks.com/fan and use code FAN. That's code FAN at prizepicks.com/fan.
Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
Welcome back to Picking with the Professor, where you're trying to help a regular history teacher beat the book. That's right. My name's Tony Dunn, and I'm just a history teacher trying to beat Vegas. Each week, I make a series of NFL picks, and I do that with the help of my friend Raphael Esparza from MyBookie.ag. But I need your help, folks. Go ahead and subscribe to Picking with the Professor, the C3 Panthers podcast, live on Tuesday nights. Drop in the comments section and tell me what I got right, what I got wrong, what you think the lock of the week is. Sports fans, it doesn't matter. It's the NFL, it's college football, it's Major League Baseball, it's boxing, UFC. They're all kicking right now, and the place to get on the betting action is My Bookie. There are thousands of lines available on all your favorite sports teams and events. You can bet on the underdog. You can take some parlays. You can even find some prop bets. That's never too late with My Bookie. That's right. You can bet in mid-game, first half, second half, buy points. Who cares? I don't know. But you should go to mybookie.ag, and you got to use the promo code OVERTIME. When you use the promo code OVERTIME, you tell them that you listen to my podcast, first of all. That's important. And that advertising can work. And second, you can collect a dollar-for-dollar deposit bonus. So you go to MyBookie, you have a little fun, you pick with the professor, you use the promo code OVERTIME, and you kick ass like they do in the UFC. So let's go ahead and jump into the show. Here's my guest, Raphael Esparza, head odds maker for MyBookie.ag. All right, I'd like to welcome back Raphael Esparza, head odds maker from MyBookie.ag. It's the place to go if you want to place a bet safely, securely, and have some fun, winning a little cheddar on the NFL. Raphael each week joins me to help a history teacher beat the book. And last time we talked, Rafi, I was down. I was at 500, then I went 1-3. But last week, 4-1. Good week for me. I hope it was a bad week for the book. I beat the book. Did everybody else?
It was pretty much a wash, and we won some good games. We lost some bad games, so it was nothing really substantially crushed us in the books. Made some money on the Cowboys not winning on Monday night, and the game staying under the total. I think that was probably had a lot of parlays and teasers attached to that one. New England going down, that was a big save for us. And Green Bay, Tampa Bay. That was a good outcome for us. But for overall, it was a good day for us. Anytime, like, the big public bets, like the Colts, who are big favorites, the Patriots, who are big favorites, when teams like that don't cover, it's always a good day for us.
Each week we start with the NFC South. This week the Detroit Lions head to Atlanta. Detroit, they're 2.5-point dogs on the road against a 1-5 team, I believe. 1-6, 1-5, one of the two. Atlanta, again, I won't say get back on track, but their offense gets back on schedule. I did not watch the game. I saw a lot of points put up by Atlanta. You know, this is the Atlanta team that so many of us had lost money on all throughout the season. They show up here. What do you think about this Lions at Falcons matchup? Because I like the Lions, dude. I mean, I don't know if it's in this game, but, man, the Lions helped me win some money last week. I don't think they're a bad team.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. I know Atlanta finally popped their cherry last week, playing much better, winning for a new head coach. They're at home. They usually play better at home. And I'm just not sure on Patricia as a head coach for the Detroit Lions. I mean, overall, I think they have a better defense than the Falcons. But if this goes toe-to-toe, and I'm not saying Matt Ryan is better than Stafford, but if this goes toe-for-toe for offense, then I would not be shocked if the Falcons win another game. And let's face it, there's rumor reels going around there. Is Julio Jones going to be traded during the trade line? Is Matt Ryan
I heard he's going to be back
traded?
this week. I heard Julio's going to be back, and if he's going to be traded, you need him to show out, right?
Yeah, so he's questionable. I think he'll play this game. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm leaning towards Atlanta, but I'm going to wait to see what the line movements. But I have no negativity to you to take the Lions because let's face it, me and you have both lost money on the Falcons so far this year.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a stay away game or to commit to what I believe in and that the Falcons stink. Let's continue. NFC South, the Carolina Panthers division game against the New Orleans Saints. I don't even know what to say about the Panthers game last week. Ultimately, the Saints are coming off a bye. This is what concerns me about this, Rafi, is the Bears they had a Thursday night game going in, like previous to this past week. So they had 10 days of rest. Now the Saints have 10 days of rest. The Panthers have no rest. And then I think we have to play the Falcons next week on a Thursday night game. There's been COVID scares with Carolina. They have been doing Zoom meetings from home. They placed their field goal kicker on injured reserve. I love the Panthers, but I don't know if I'm interested in this game right now. The Saints, while I don't believe in them, I don't see any reason why you should put your money on the Panthers at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, just because that evil half a point is attached to this number, the Saints are 7.5. I can't. For us as bookmakers, we're probably going to be big Panther fans on Sunday, just because I think the world is going to know exactly what you said is what the world betting are going to go to the window thinking about. Panthers have no rest, COVID scares, Zoom meetings, kicker on the offense was very poor against the Bears. So they're going to be piling money on the Saints. We're going to be big Panther fans. I think it's going to be a closer game.
Does the line move?
It opened up at 7, and it's now a solid 7.5 now. So it's moved a half a point. But me and you both know to move it off of 7, that means a significant amount of money has had to come on to add that additional evil half a point on that 7. So if you like the Panthers, I say hurry up and bet it now because I don't think it's going to go to 8. But if you like the Saints, maybe do a prayer to the gambling gods and wishful maybe goes back down to 7 and then place your wager.
All right, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers head to Las Vegas. The Bucs finally put it all together. It took Tom Brady playing like crap in the beginning and the defense getting them in position, putting points up. That Tampa Bay defense is no joke, A, and we all knew that, B. C, though, it starts to look like both sides of the ball are finally coming together for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to the Raiders, who had problems with the Patriots. And I cannot remember, was the Patriots game a home game for Las Vegas?
That was they were on the road in that one. Last home game is when they lost to Buffalo.
Okay. So Tampa Bay going on the road hot here. I don't know. This is a tough one for me to pick right here. I think the Raiders are a sneakily good team, right? They might not have the best record when it's all over. I don't think they're a bad team, but the Buccaneers are starting to click, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, the Raiders are coming off their bye week after they won the Super Bowl again, beating Kansas City at Kansas City, putting up a 40 mark on that Chiefs defense. But now they have to play the best defense in the NFL. I mean, I thought the best defense in the NFL this year were going to be either Colts or Pittsburgh or maybe even Baltimore. I didn't think Tampa Bay's defense would be this good.
Todd Bowles is no joke.
Yeah, it showed against Green Bay. They played outstanding against the Bears. They just got unlucky on that Bears game. So I agree with you. I'm going to have to go with a Tampa Tom on this one. I think they win on the road, even with the Raiders coming off a bye week. I mean, the Raiders had really good home wins. They beat the Saints, but we all know what the Saints defense is like. They lost to Buffalo. Buffalo is a really good defense. Nothing even close to what Tampa Bay defense wins this game, and I think I'm going to jump on board with a Tampa Bay winning on the road because you said I think they're starting to gel. They're starting to play like a team right now, and right now I'm going to take Tampa Tom at -3.
Is this an under? I know we don't like to take unders in this new world. I won with one last week. Thankfully, the Rams and the Rams and the 49ers, I took the under. I took the Rams at 4.5, so I split there. But I almost feel like this could be like a 30-17 right here game.
I can see that. It's probably going to be a defensive battle, and I can understand why bettors are betting it under. It opened up at 53. It's down to 52.
Oh, wow, it's moving.
So I can totally understand. But Tampa Bay's offense, I mean, if they're going to get productivity with Gronk like they did last week, then Tampa Tom could put up some big points. And we all know the Raiders can give up points. I can't bet on under game, especially with two offenses, especially with the Raiders offense at home. They could put up some points.
All right. I'm kind of leaning under there, but I see what you're saying. A game that I won't say no one wants to watch. Am I wrong for thinking that the Eagles should be able to cover 4.5 fine?
They should, but you know what? The Giants aren't that bad of a team. I know they're 1-5, but
they're terrible.
They battle. They're not tanking for Trevor or tanking for whoever they want to tank for. They're competitive. They're missing a lot of pieces. But so are the Eagles. They're missing their tight end. He's out with a sprained ankle for multiple weeks.
All of them, right? Both of their tight ends are gone now. Goddard and Ertz.
Yeah, so they're both going to be gone. I mean, quarterback for a quarterback, I can see why taking the Eagles laying a small number. But this is the NFC East. Me and you can find guys on the street, put uniforms on, and compete in the NFC East.
I'll probably stay away from that game. One team that I've made a ton of money off of is the New York Jets. And not by betting them, but by betting against them. Last week, I told you, you said, you agreed with me. 10 points, you're okay with it. I took Miami, who I'm interested to read some of the literature about why they're going with Tua right now when they've been so successful with Fitzpatrick. 13.5 might be too big for me on this one. I know the Jets are awful. I almost could say it doesn't matter what the number is. Bills at Jets, 45 over under. Is there any action here that you are interested in?
No, I mean, I want to take Buffalo. I mean, we're going to be big Jets fans because everyone's going to have Buffalo in survivor pools, Buffalo in teasers, so we're going to be big Jets fans. But, I mean, the number's just it's too high. I mean, the way Buffalo has played their last two games, I wouldn't lay 13.5 points with them. I mean, coming off two losses and bad losses. I mean, don't forget, they lost to Tennessee 42-16, and then they lay the egg against Kansas City, losing by 9. Even though they had some chances in the fourth quarter to score, that's just way too big of a number for me.
Let me ask you this, though. So, like we said, we're future casting here. So if 13.5 and it's barely too much. To be honest, it's like this: I'm still tempted to just bet against the Jets every week. Next week, say the Bills cover the 13.5. Say they win by 14. The Jets are on the road in Kansas. What's the line on that?
I think probably the Chiefs would be like minus 100 or something.
Jeez, I mean, seriously.
I think we'll probably put up 21 and a half, probably.
What's the biggest line in your recent memory? What's the biggest line in your recent memory that you, or not recent,
I think it was a Patriots game, and I think it was 24. I want to say,
insane.
but this won't be up.
That's
there.
like a college number, man.
Yeah, if this game, if everything goes, let's say that if the Jets lose again and Kansas City wins and there's no injuries involved, I can guarantee you we'll put up 21 and a half for the Kansas City Chiefs Jets game.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'll take the Bills right here. Until we get to 3 touchdowns, I am not worried about the Jets. I know that's terrible. Here's the game for me. Here's the game for me of the week. Pittsburgh at Tennessee. I'm ready to take the Steelers on the road +1. I know that's tough. I mean, the Tennessee Titans have been putting together complete games, but I think the Steelers are putting together complete games. I don't know. Where are you at? Where are you at on this matchup?
Yeah, this one's going to be a fan. And again, I know. Please, can we have flex schedules? Why isn't this game not the late NBC game? Why isn't this not the Monday night game? No disrespect to the Bears and the Rams or the Raiders in the Tampa Bay game. Well, why not even put this on one of the 425 games? Why are the Jaguars Chargers at 420? This game should be a CBS late game or the NBC or Monday night game. But if Pittsburgh can't stop the run, then I think the beast of Derrick Henry and Tannehill are going to have a feast and probably win this game. But if they can stop the run, if they can stop the run, Big Ben and those tight ends and their running game could put up a game. This is just going to be fantastic. The line is 1.5, depending on where you go. It's going to be fantastic. The total has dropped a little bit, opened up at 52. Now it's 50.5. I think this is going to be an old AFC brutal Big Ten type football where it's run, pass, punch, ugly, hard hitting. Would not be shocked if the winner wins 24-20 and this game goes under. That's what type of game I'm feeling it. I'm a Steeler fan at heart as a kid. My favorite player, Franco Harris. So I'm going to be rooting for Pittsburgh at heart, but I think Tennessee will be able to run on that Pittsburgh defense. I think they pull it off by a field goal.
I'm trying to look. Where is the Steelers? God, their run defense is not ranked well.
No, that's what I'm saying. If they can't stop the run, then I think the beast of Henry, who should be getting MVP talk. I know it's a quarterback world, and I know quarterbacks get all the love. But I'm sorry, Derrick Henry should be top 5 in MVP votes.
Nah, I like that. Thank you for saving me from a mistake there. That was saving me from a mistake. All right, last game we'll talk about. Actually, I'll let you pick it. You can pick between 3 games that you want to talk about. The 49ers at Patriots, the Chiefs at Broncos, or the Jaguars at Chargers. Which one are you most interested in as an odds maker?
I'm interested in the New England-San Francisco game. San Francisco came off a nice game last week, beating the Rams. Which mean you both had the under, which mean you both agreed last week that game was going to go under. Now the 49ers coming for a little bit of momentum with that big win, and now New England got to practice. So how are they going to look now that they got to practice? Cam Newton got to practice the whole week.
I'm taking the Patriots, bro.
Yeah, they looked awful against Denver. They've only scored 22 points in 2 games. I mean, so I want to see what New England comes out after a full length of practicing with no COVID scares and ready to go. And they're at home. So I'm really interested to see this because this game would have been a totally different field. Let's say if the Rams would have blew out San Francisco, then the 49ers come to Gillette Stadium dropping 3 straight, and maybe the Boo Birds and Jimmy G might be getting a little bit of no love. Now it's a totally different aspect. So I'm a little bit excited for this game.
I want the Patriots here -2, and I'll take the over. Is that ridiculous?
On the total, I would think a little bit on the yes on the total, but I kind of like New England in this game.
43.5 is not a lot in this NFL. Man, we saw, dude, I was sweating the under in that 49ers Rams game in the first quarter when they put up like 21 points. And then it finally slowed down. It finally slowed down. I was appreciative of that.
Anything happens in Gillette Stadium in the fall and winter.
All right, yeah. All right, I'm ready to take the Patriots here and the over because I don't trust the Patriots defense like I used to. And actually, I don't know. We'll have to check. The 49ers, the injury issues continue to be problematic, especially at the running back position and on defense. All right, Raphael Esparza, mybookie.ag. Tell them how they can go place a bet, feel good and safe about it, and come back and hang out. They could be like a regular person. They could be a history teacher like myself. They could be a plumber. They could be a doctor. They could do that, and they want to play a little sports gambling. You can gamble on MMA. You can gamble on the NCAA. You can gamble on almost anything these days. Thank you, Supreme Court, for that. Tell them how they can go and have a good time doing it and feel good about it.
Can jump over to my bookie. Still have that 100% sign-up bonus. That means if you put up $100, we're going to match that with $100 into your account. So sign up today. Like you said, full break of football all weekend. NFL Thursday. Big Ten football comes back, and college football. Mountain West football comes back this week. So we have a full link of college football. And don't forget UFC 254 this weekend as well. So jump up and sign up today.
All right, that's Raphael Esparza, mybookie.ag. Don't forget that we'll be back here next week chopping up the same news. Thanks, Rafi. Thanks for your help, man. We were back above 500. That's right. The professor fell below in week 5, going 1-3. A week to forget. But it's okay, guys. We went 4-1. That's right. 4-1 last week to get to 10-9. We are above 500, folks. And now it's time for us to keep rolling on. This week, the professor is interested in a couple of games. The Patriots. I like the -2 here with the Patriots. I'm telling you this. I've been betting against San Francisco hardcore. And while I missed that with the Rams, yeah, screw you guys. We still got the under on that. That's right. Because at the very, very worst, this game is going to be low scoring. 43.5 is the over-under. I tell you this, is I think somehow this game goes over. But I'm not betting that. I'm betting the Patriots -2. Cam Newton and crew and some practice. Get back on schedule. Cover this. 49ers, too many injuries. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter how well Shanahan coaches and how magical he is. Bill Belichick's got the magic. Cam Newton's got the super sauce. It's coming back, folks. Patriots -2. Next up, I'm taking the under in Tampa at Las Vegas. I feel like this kind of is a reminiscent game of the Patriots and the Raiders game. What I'm going to say here is this, is I think that Tampa Bay wins this handily. I think that Las Vegas has trouble scoring against that really incredible Tampa Bay defense. Todd Bowles is the man. Give me the under in that game. This is risky. I know it. But the Jets have made me so much money betting against them this year. How can I stop? I'm not stopping until I lose. Or next week when the line's like 40. When it comes to the Jets at Chiefs, give me the Bills -13.5. They're winning by 17 here, getting back on track. I'm nervous about this one a little bit, but the Jets stink. The Bills are better than they've been for the last 2 weeks. So you got to keep the hot hand where it is, keep putting the money where it's making it. And now I think the Bears are getting a little disrespect here. +6 against the Rams. The Rams did not look all that great this past week. And I tell you this, the Bears do. Their defense is wonderful. The under on this is like 43.5. It is scary. Oh, nope. Let me find it. 40. It's 45. All right. 45 is not the lowest number, but that is low. I'm not trying to, but it could happen. I'm telling you, this is like a 20-17 game, probably. I'm taking the Bears, man. They win this. I think they win the game outright at this point with that defense. And I think at this point, give me those 6 points. That's a lot. So these are the picks. The professor's picks are in. Patriots -2. Under in the Tampa at Las Vegas game. Bills -13.5. That's the risky pick of the week. And the Bears +6. I actually feel strangely good about that one. All right. Make sure you subscribe to Picking with the Professor under the C3 Panthers podcast YouTube page. Hey, thanks again for hanging out with the professor, trying to help this Thanks again for hanging out with the professor and trying to help this history teacher beat the book. You can help me a little bit more by smashing the thumbs up button on YouTube, by subscribing on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, wherever you get your podcast, the C3 Panthers podcast, and join us Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. The number's 252-228-5098. You could be a part of the show. We're also got the post-game show. After every Panthers games, we're hanging out live, taking your calls. The number's 252-228-5098. And find me on Twitter, @cat_chronicles. Don't forget, drop in the comments. Tell me who your lock is. Tell me what I got wrong. Tell me what you want to bet. And tell me what we should be talking about. This is Picking with the Professor. I'll see you next week.